What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Cam ATL and welcome back to another MLB High Five video with your boy. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section if you haven't already to enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel, which by the way, if you scroll down as soon as I post this video, I'll be choosing the winner and typing their name down in the comment section. So see if you are the winner. GreenlightDFS.com to join the squad. We got the W yesterday in MLB. It was a great W. Go ahead and get us a streak started. I really want to get like a huge win on both sports in the same night. That's really my new goal right now. So super excited to get into it. Really liking the MLB slate for today. We don't have a game in cores, which always makes slates a little bit easier. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. And it also makes slates less chalky as well. Starting off at for my first pitcher, Jacob DeGrom is just light years ahead of every other pitcher on this slate. There's nobody even close. So in my opinion, you play Jacob DeGrom, and then you figure out your SP2 after that, and you'd figure out the bats elsewhere. Because like I said, you don't have a game in course to where you really need to save on pitching or even worry about any of that really. So what I encourage you to do is get the best pitchers that you could possibly think of and then figure out the bats. I've always told you that. Don't sacrifice pitching for bats, okay? At all, ever. Okay? So, Jacob DeGrom, I mean, he's obviously a monster. I don't have to talk about it too much. Philly is a toughish offense. They're solid, but seeing what Ian Anderson did to them yesterday, Jacob DeGrom can definitely do better. I love Jacob here. He's got a crazy strikeout rate. We all know that 30% to lefties, 35% to righties. Only holds righties to a 187, holds lefties to a 214. Like, he's just super elite. I don't have to waste too much time talking about him. Jacob DeGrom is my first pitcher that I really love today. Next up, Carlos Rodon. Way too cheap at 6'7". Way too cheap. This is a guy who's got over a 20% strikeout rate to lefties and righties. He holds averages under 230 average for lefties and righties. He gives up a little bit of power to lefties. He's got that reverse split. But he's going to face a ton of righties most likely in the Seattle lineup, and the Seattle lineup in general is not great. So I really like Rodon here. He's in a fantastic spot. It's in a pitcher-friendly ballpark in Seattle. I love Carlos here in this matchup. Who's pitching for Seattle, real quick? Let me see. Who is pitching for Seattle? Sheffield is pitching for Seattle. I think the White Sox are going to be able to get the W here and also get them the win as well. So Rodon is one of my favorite pitchers on the slate. I really love him today. I think he's way too cheap. He's a solid pitcher. So I really like him here against Seattle. All right. Next up at first base, this dude's been killing the ball. And I'm talking about Jared Walsh. Jared Walsh has been batting fifth for this Angels offense, and he's got 17, 34 the last two games. He has been tearing the cover off the ball. He has been ridiculous, okay? On top of that, he has just been straight up elite versus right handed pitching lately. Okay, the lefty righty matchup is legit. He has really been tearing the ball cover off the ball lately when it comes to this matchup against righties. He has a 324 ISO versus right-handed pitching. That is absolutely elite. This dude has a great amount of power. He's got some really nice upside. I really love him. On top of that, if you have the money, obviously Jose Abreu versus lefty at any moment is always a good option. Okay, as well as while I'm speaking of that, Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson's day to day though it looks like. So if he does not get back in the lineup, then it says that he's unlikely to miss much time, so he might end up missing a few games or so, but he should be back soon. But that's definitely a hit for the White Sox for sure against this lefty because Anderson was going to have a huge game if he played. But yeah, Jared Walsh has been just destroying the ball so far this year, and overall throughout his career, he has just crushed right-handed pitching, so I love him. At second base, I'm going to go Jake Cronenworth. Jake is another guy who is just really good versus right-handed pitching. That lefty-righty matchup, San Diego's got a decent implied total. He's only 3-4, and he's just ridiculous. 269 ISO versus righties, 328 batting average, 425 WOBA. All right, like he's just a solid overall batter in general. He gets on base. He had a down game last game against Arizona where he batted second. He's also moved up in the order, which is awesome. It's great to see because he was batting sixth in the beginning of the at the beginning of this year, getting 21 and 7. Then he moved up to fifth and got 9. Then he moved up to second and got 2 against Arizona. Especially, like, regardless of where he bats, I don't even care. This lefty righty against Desclafani, who struggles versus lefties, I'll take Jake Cronenworth all day. I really like him and have a big game. Last but not least, the wind is blowing out in Chicago, so you know what's up with that. I'm gonna have a good bit of money. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have a good bit of money here, so I'm able to get a stud if I would like to, and it's going to be Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich is a fantastic option here against Trevor Williams. I mean, Yelich is a beast. 295 ISO, 427 WOBA, 306 average versus righties. He hasn't had a ton of success against this pitcher in general, but he is an elite batter. It's a lefty righty matchup. Wind is blowing out in Chicago. That's a bump to batters. I think Yelich could possibly have a huge game here, and I wanted to definitely make sure I get him in the core because he could have a big game with the wind blowing out, lefty righty matchup. It's just a great spot for Yelich here. All right, and that's it. We got Jacob DeGrom, Carlos Rodon, Jared Walsh, Cronenworth, and Christian Yelich is the high five for MLB. Let's get it now. You know what time it is. It is time for the home run predictions. Let's get it. You can write these names down if you want to. I'm only going to give you, I'm going to shorten it. I'm going to give you about 5 to 10 names that I believe have the best chances at hitting home runs on this slate, okay? As we know, home runs are king, just like strikeouts are king for pitchers. If we get a good bit of strikeouts from our pitchers and they have great games and then we get some big games out of our bats, some double dongs, stuff like that, we're in a great spot to start out automatically. All right? So, let's go ahead and get into this home run predictions. Now, first and foremost, Christian Yelich. Okay, I mean, that should come as no surprise. Love Yelich with the wind blowing out there. He is a fantastic option. And remember, when I do these home run predictions, it could be for any of the slates. So if you're playing an earlier slate or a night slate or whatever, some of these names might not be on the main slate, but I'm going to give them to you anyway because I love them. All right, next up, I really like Pete Alonso in his matchup today. I really like Giancarlo Stanton. Let's see. I really like Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant's been playing really well lately. Jay Bruce, Mike Moustakas, Gary Sanchez has been crushing the ball lately as well. So the Yankee bats are in a fantastic spot on their slate. It's not on the main slate though. On our slate, let's see. Obviously, I have Jared Walsh, Christian Yelich. Those are the top two guys for sure. Chris Bryant, like him a lot. Let's see. Travis Shaw is interesting. Joey Gallo. And let's end it off with. Let's see. Let's end it off with Justin Upton. Let's say Justin Upton to end it off with. All right, y'all? So that's about what, like 7 to 10 bats. So some of them in the different slates, some of them in the main slate. But yeah, let's get it today, man. Greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad. Let's smash once again, and let's just keep it going. All right? Thank you guys for joining me as always. I'm out. Peace.